Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Stretford, Paddock. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm Adam McCullough. I'm here a little bit later today with your news, but we have got lots to get stuck into. Mason Mount stuff, Kim Min-jae stuff, Victor Osimhen, as well as a few more stories to get stuck into. So make sure you're keeping it locked by hitting that subscribe button as well. We're very, very close to 700,000 subscribers, and we can only do that with your help. So get hitting that subscribe button, get liking this video as well, and get your thoughts in the comments below, because remember, this is your channel. But we have got plenty to get stuck into today, so let's get stuck into it. And the first story that we'll read is something regarding the academy and Darren Fletcher's two children, Jack and Tyler. They're currently at Manchester City playing for, I think it's their under 16s or under 17s. And they are now the subject of a bid from Manchester United to bring Darren Fletcher's sons to Old Trafford and to our academy. Now, it's a bit weird that they're at Manchester City already in the first place. Obviously, they have, much better facilities than ours at the moment, because of the simple fact that the Glazers haven't improved Manchester United's facilities, whilst their owners at Manchester City have obviously pumped a lot of money into the club. So it kind of understands how they've ended up there. But maybe Darren Fletcher has thought, hold on, the Qatari money is coming in at Old Trafford, and he's going to try and get his boys some of that. Or he might just want them at Old Trafford and around, Manchester United, his club, where he's working at the moment. It also makes sense to do this now rather than later, because if they do turn into a pair of quality players, or, even one of them does, if you're trying to negotiate this later down the line, it's probably not going to happen. So whilst they're in the academy, it's probably the easiest time to do that. So that one's an interesting story that we have to keep our eyes on. We also hear from Dave McDonnell from the Mirror that Manchester United are set to step up their pursuit of Victor Osimhen. Now, we've obviously been linked with a couple of strikers. We were linked with Harry Kane. We've been linked with a few other lads, but Victor Osimhen's someone that those links have been with for an awfully long time. Now, he's going to be linked to a whole host of clubs. He already is being. PSG, I've read. I think Chelsea have also been linked with him. There's been a few other big teams being linked with Victor Osimhen. The trouble for Manchester United is, have we got the funds to make that happen? Because it's probably going to cost, £100 million. United have to sell to buy. We have some key areas. Striker is one of those key areas that we have to fill. We've also got, potentially we're looking at fulfilling one or two midfield spots, getting a centre-back, getting a goalkeeper. Have we got the funds, if Napoli start entering into a bidding war with a couple of clubs, to be able to make Osimhen happen? I'm not too sure. But he is being linked with Manchester United. And, of course, I think we're going to continue to be, because he is one of the top strikers out there at the moment. And if any club's in the market for a number 9, they're probably looking at Victor Osimhen. You also look at the fact that there's been a lot of reports that we've kind of given up on Harry Kane, which I'd rather us do earlier on in the transfer window rather than later on, when you allow potentially Victor Osimhen and all these other striking options to move on elsewhere. We've been linked with Rasmus Højlund as well, who could potentially be one of those guys coming to Manchester United. I also read a story earlier which said Atalanta could take Amad Diallo on loan for a season, and in the deal for Rasmus Højlund. So, another one that could potentially happen. But we'll be keeping our eyes on this and our ears peeled for anything happening on Stretford Paddock. So make sure you're keeping it locked by hitting that subscribe button. The Mirror and Dave McDonnell also reported that David De Gea is set to leave. Now, obviously, we're down to days remaining on his contract. I think it's about 12 days at this moment in time remaining on his contract. If he doesn't agree a new deal with Manchester United, and it's been reported that he's been holding out for, the top end of what is being paid at the moment. So I can't see Manchester United sanctioning that. Erik ten Hag clearly looking for a new goalkeeper, whether David De Gea stays or not. The issue United have got, well, I say it's not an issue, but we heard reports that we had agreed a contract with Dave. Then it's all gone quiet. Maybe Ten Hag has said, look, I'm looking for another goalkeeper. You're not going to be number 1. So now both players are weighing, the club and the player are weighing up their options of what to do next. But it all has gone very, very quiet, and we've got days to go. It wasn't on that retained list 12, days to go until his contract expires. Of course, something could be agreed between now and then, but I've got to say, it is feeling more likely that David De Gea will leave Old Trafford. We were also linked with Kim Min-jae now, or Kim Min-jae, sorry. The story on this originally from Fabrizio Romano in regards to Manchester United were we had agreed terms with his representatives. He was more than happy to join United, and then we were just waiting for the release clause to kick in July, the first 2 weeks of July, and then you hear Bayern Munich have agreed terms with him. And Fabrizio Romano, I think, is very good at his job, but he also updates for update's sake sometimes. And then he reported something which said, Bayern Munich have agreed terms with him. No further talks with Manchester United. And it would be like, based on what you've already said, why would Manchester United need to enter further talks with a player if we've already agreed terms with him and now we're just waiting for that deadline? So I found that line a little bit weird. Like, United haven't made enough. We thought we agreed terms. Why are you changing this now? But it does feel like Bayern Munich have swayed Kim Min-jae. We hear Kim Min-jae initially preferred to join the Premier League and Man United, but Bayern Munich's proposal of €10 million net is making him completely change his mind. I think Bayern Munich also saw, the performances of the likes of Upamecano for them in the Champions League probably made them think, let's go and get. And when you look at De Ligt and Kim Min-jae, could be one of the best centre-back partnerships about. Kim Min-jae could be a great signing for Man United, especially when you look at the price that it could be available at, the ease of doing a deal, or at least it felt like. But it does look like it could be going to Bayern Munich now. And that would be another shrewd bit of business from Bayern Munich. We hear from Florian Plettenberg, in regards to Mason Mount. Now, this one looks like it could be happening. He says, Mason Mount, talks and negotiations ongoing, but been told that his move to Manchester United is the most likely scenario at this stage. Ten Hag wants him 100% as reported. He's the desired player. There's no final agreement yet. Again, we have heard on this that United have agreed terms with Mason Mount, need to agree a fee with Chelsea. We had an initial bid rejected, and there's been talk that we could go up to £50 million, but that would be, the maximum that Manchester United put on. Look, I think players go for all sorts of different prices, so it's difficult to kind of gauge who's worth what. I think he's probably worth, with a year on his contract, about £40 million. Paying £50 million is a little bit over the top, but it's got to be expected when you're trying to buy one of Chelsea's academy players from them, I suppose. So yeah, it looks like that one is happening, but it's just a matter of time. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below on everything we have discussed today. It's exactly a month as well before we fly out to New York for the pre-season tour. Cannot wait for that. So if you guys are going to be on any of those legs of the tour, with New York, San Diego, or San Diego, we've also got Houston, and we've also got Las Vegas. You guys are on any of those tours or any of those games, let us know. We'll be out there, and we might, hopefully, fingers crossed, have a few things going on as well. But anyway, let us know your thoughts on everything we've discussed today, and I'll see you soon.